And I also think that Draymond probably has always wanted to prove that he's not what people say he is, which is a Steph Curry coat rider. I guarantee you that Draymond resents the hell out of that place. Now, he did this to himself, no question. He did this to himself with the pool stuff. But I would never get over the fact that that tape came out.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't. And Dunleavy in his press conference talked about Jordan Poole being on this team for 4 years.
And hopefully more, he said.
Yeah. So everyone freely admitted that screwed everything up, including Draymond himself. Draymond could not be the leader he had always been there because of that happening. He never was right. And you and I talked about this when it first happened. Bro, imagine if you went to work every day and you're around somebody that everybody saw you punch you in the face. It's just, it's never not going to be weird. It's never not going to be weird. Ever. So you got to make a choice to me. Either Draymond Green's going to be on that team or Jordan Poole is going to be on that team. That whole idea that they can both coexist and they'll be simpatico and it's never going to be normal. It's always going to be hanging out there. And he feels like somebody there hung him out to dry. Oh, they were going to do their investigation. Like, where'd that investigation go? We ever found out how the tape got out? I mean, I've been in practices, bro. They ain't open. There's only X number of people in that thing. So it would not be hard to figure out who was running a camera upstairs the day that this guy got floored. And so I would feel like, I don't know. I feel like my own team wanted that out there. Somebody wanted that out there. Not just some rogue employee out to get Draymond. That deep down, everybody was okay with that being out there. Whether it's to publicly shame him, whether it was to make it okay that they aren't signing him up to a long-term contract, whether it's making it okay to overpay Jordan Poole, whatever reason. And so, it's like, yeah, okay, they just went on and everything was cool. Just like the Bill thing. Bill came back and he was still working at ESPN. But then as soon as that contract was up, man, I'm out of here. So to me, Draymond's out of there. He's out of there. And I think that
the funny thing
it'll
is,
be a great podcast when he leaves.
Well, it'll be good for content if he leaves.
Yeah.
Right? Like it'd be great content, a great part of his story. Why I left the Warriors. That podcast would drop and everybody, including you and I, would rush to go listen to that, or we'd be waking up in the morning, rolling over and
it'd be the highest rated podcast ever.
Yes. Why I left the Warriors,
Yes.
Why I'm reuniting with Kevin Durant on the Suns. Why I'm joining Luka, right? Like whatever it is, I'm joining LeBron James of the Lakers. Whatever the storyline, it would be a banger. And for Draymond, on his side of things, doesn't part of you get it? Maybe being the first, actually the second. Bob Myers was the first to jump ship. If you're the second behind Bob, maybe you're one of the early ones who gets off before the train kind of goes off the rails here with the Warriors.
Hey, man. Hey. I'll take him in Memphis.
Yeah, I'm sure you would love him.
Hey, next to his buddy. Hey, with Jaren Jackson Jr., his Michigan State guy, he loves Morant. And he famously said to Dylan Brooks, the dynasty starts after you.
Yeah.
And what if he comes in and then helps start the dynasty? Andy jumps Ja's ass and gets him in line. Take it.
Yeah, maybe he'll throw some haymakers at Ja.
But no, seriously, like he was like 9.8 rebounds, 7 assists or something on 50-something% from the field. I mean, every team can use that. And I also think that Draymond probably has always wanted to prove that he's not what people say he is, which is a Steph Curry coat rider.
Yeah.
I think he would love nothing more to go somewhere, help some team win big, Golden State go the wrong way, and then him be able to say, oh, Mr. Coat Rider's gone and they can't win. The defense stinks and now it ain't as easy when I'm not around, huh? Maybe you should have respected what I brought to the table. And I think that's a possibility.
It would be legacy defining for him to do it away from Steph, for sure.
Yes.
I think that's part of it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fascinating. I mentioned the Suns to you. Do you think trading DeAndre Ayton for Draymond Green, if Draymond forced his way to the Suns and said, hey, this is where I want to go, sign and trade me here, getting Ayton back for the Warriors wouldn't be so bad. You know, he's 24, 25 years old. It'd be a solid return for Draymond Green. And I would bet
my life as a Michigan State guy, there's nothing more that Matt Ishbia would love to have happen than to acquire Draymond Green.
Yep, that's for sure.
He is the Michigan State guy.
Yep.
To get. He's the one. You know, when that job, you remember when he got rid of Monty? I remember asking people like, you think he'll go get Izzo? You know, all these college basketball coaches, especially like the old ones, they are sick of this crap with college, with guys, that it's just a different world. They can transfer if they don't play. Other people are recruiting their players. They've got to set it up. It's almost like they're agents, or they got to help make sure they got the NIL thing all squared away, whatever. And so you see guys leaving, the Jay Wrights of the world, Krzyzewski. You saw Roy Williams. See all these guys like going off into the sunset. Boeheim just did it last year. And I was like, I'm sure that Izzo, if he ever wanted to test it in the NBA, wouldn't this be an unbelievable time? And so I just figured, hey, I bet the Michigan State guy that now owns the team that played for him. And you remember Dan Gilbert tried to hire him in Cleveland. So it would be the ultimate double bird to Dan Gilbert if he then could go hire Tom Izzo. And somebody told me he doesn't want to be hated by Michigan State. You got to really tiptoe around that, because it's like, yeah, you're the Michigan State guy, but you'd also be the guy responsible for taking Tom Izzo away from Michigan State. And so it's a little testy. And obviously he ended up with Frank Vogel and hired a good coach for sure. Right. But
yeah, he did.
He doesn't have any Michigan State yet. And he's going to try to go get it. And that would be the ultimate one to go get. If you could pull it off, is to get Draymond. And obviously Draymond with Beal, Booker, and Durant is like, okay, that's a different world now. That ain't Jock Landale.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, to me, Draymond, he's the guy I want next if I'm the Suns. I'm going hard after Draymond. I'm doing, if I'm Kevin Durant, I'm doing the reverse recruitment now and saying, hey, time to come to Phoenix and do it with a different group of guys. Let's do it again here without Stephen Curry, and let's win a lot here for years to come. That's the pitch I'm making to Draymond Green now that they've rekindled their relationship since he left Golden State. They did their podcast together. They're buddies again.
It's not the craziest thing in the world, though, because then it gives you a big, and he then doesn't play. Ayton was going to hate it in Phoenix because he bitches and quits every time he's not a major focal point. But if you just turned it into Steph pick and roll basketball and that becomes his pick and roll partner, then he's happy. You probably get the most out of him. You need a big guy against Jokic. It's a shame we didn't get to see them against Denver just to see what it would have looked like. Right. And what they would have done with what would have won out? Is their small ball, really hurt Denver, or would it have just gotten absolutely mashed because they have nothing for Jokic? So look, I can't stand Ayton, but again, if you already know Draymond's leaving you, if he's going somewhere, and that's just the way it's going to be, I mean, you want to get something back. So if you're going to do a sign and trade, and then you just decide we're going to play Steph Curry pick and roll basketball.
Mm-hmm.